I was born ready. Compliments of Mike Donovan. Oh, I thought you were going to do the intro right there. I thought you were like getting in a groove.
Maybe next one.
Maybe next one. What's up, guys? It's Mike Frank with Berkshire Hathaway. Coming with Andrea Soto and Christian Olson.
What's
once
up?
again.
What's up, guys? What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up? So guess what? Talking about pricing mistakes. I actually did a really good show on Facebook about this, to be honest with you.
I'll watch it after this.
Yeah. Was it one of your lives?
Yeah.
You know what this reminds me of? The guy that, Stephen Farnett, that lived off eucalyptus that we were trying to sell his home in St.
Oh,
Leonard.
Jesus Christ. I was like, who the fuck are we talking about? Lived off eucalyptus.
I heard
like, that's pretty impressive.
Once I heard eucalyptus, I was lost. I was like,
It's
what are we talking about?
No, it's this guy that wanted to sell his home, had it priced relatively inappropriately.
It was a very sexual number.
Very sexual number.
But like
69696.
wanted this return, and me and Mike tried talking to him about pricing his home correctly and getting it the exposure that it deserves. I don't know why my mic sounds weird, but there's an echo, I feel like.
Well,
anyways.
there you go. If you
so
will listen to
much
Live,
better.
I don't know, for the 100th time.
Okay, anyways. But, you know, home needed some work. We were going to get some contractors in there, or try to at least. But he ended up going with like a Redfin agent who just threw his house up on the MLS and kind of let it run its course and didn't really give it the attention it deserves. And, yeah.
I didn't remember who you're talking about, but now I remember. I get it. I don't remember people that I don't care about. He didn't list with us.
True.
Yikes.
True.
But
Bad
he
mistake.
overpriced his home. That was the key. That's what Christian's getting at. He overpriced his home. Oh, speaking of which, the fifth thing on the blog should be not improving the value. That should be a big mistake. It's a pricing mistake. That's what he did.
Oh, like before you list it.
Yeah, like he priced his home for the right
Right.
price, like what it was worth.
Right.
Yeah.
But the condition made it worth less.
Maintenance is key, homeowners.
Right. So like you either take into factor the value of what it's worth in the condition that it's in today, which he did not do because he overpriced it,
But
or improve it.
I also think it can fall on the agent too, because there's agents that'll be like, "Yeah, I'll list your home for $400,000."
Well,
Like,
yeah, that's like number 3. Boom,
sorry, am
number
I
2.
jumping
Yeah.
around too
Yeah,
quickly?
you're jumping
I'm sorry.
around.
That's why we didn't work with Rachel, that one Russian
Oh
lady.
yeah, she crazy.
She was crazy. She wanted to like list her home for like $350 when everything around it was like $220.
But she was also
Maybe
like,
$250.
I want the lowest commission. I don't want to pay
she
a
was
buyer's
very
agent.
unreasonable.
All these things.
Only wanted to benefit, never, didn't
and
want
the
to do
thing
anything
was
else.
like we're sitting there talking to her, and it's like this is a pricing mistake, and she's like, well, why do you think that? And I was like, well, you didn't sell it when it was listed before,
and she still hasn't sold it.
right? Like it's a pricing mistake. And talk about pent up equity, that's an investment, right? Like the faster you get your money back, the faster it turns again.
Yeah.
Right? Like, come on.
I mean, even that property that Ronald Price is interested in, we were looking at the numbers.
Yeah, continue.
And
I
I don't understand. He always interrupted me. Damn it. 236, I think it was listed at. And
Listeners beware, hand signals are interrupting Christian.
and I think you were saying, yeah, the value is only like 217, if that, like not even. And it's priced inappropriately, like at 50 days on market, probably even 60 at this point. And I think we're starting to see this come from a lot of sellers, or maybe you can say even sellers agents that aren't properly informing their clients on what the market is and the value of their home.
Yeah. Why do you add that?
Because it's funny.
No, but Christian just stopped talking. Now people are going to think it's about Christian and
No,
not
it's
my
the womp
sneeze.
womp about the sellers that aren't advocating for the value of the home.
Oh, I thought you were doing it
not
because of
your
my sneeze.
No. Achoo! That should be your audible.
I have a full-time
Right?
job.
No,
still
I
haven't found
agree.
mine.
I do. Achoo! I think that it's a travesty that sellers are misled by their agent.
Yeah.
And so in the blog, Liv talked about pricing with the real estate agent that offers the highest value. So you get 3 agents to come in. One says 300, one says 320, one says 345. And you go with the 345 option, not because the house is worth 345, because it's really worth 300. All 3 of them were coming in kind of high. And that's what happened in that situation.
Yeah.
And now the agent doesn't know how to get out of it.
Yeah.
The agent's like, well, the sellers aren't going to be willing to drop the price. Actually, they raised the price. I can see that they didn't drop the price, right?
Yeah,
Like
that
blows my mind. but maybe they're just not a realistic seller.
Right. That's also true. I think there's many different factors when it comes to pricing and seeing a property on the market.
Yeah.
Is it the seller? Is it the agent? What's going on here, right? There's more to it.
So what would you say to someone that's looking to differentiate a good agent to, just like a yes man, to someone that is candid, that is real, that's, has real conversation with you as a person?
It's interesting that you bring this up because today in the economic forum, right? I was thinking to myself how smart this lady sounded. Like
Okay.
I've never met her. I don't know her. She's an economist. She has a PhD at the end of her name. Like all that sounds really great. But like I don't know her.
Right.
And she could be the girl in the class that like rode off of everybody else's, skill in the group practice, She could be. I mean, PhD is PhD, but all the same, like she was delivering content and I was like, wow, she's really smart,
Communication.
And I don't think that it's, I like her. I think there's a definitely, I don't like her. Like I can get behind the people that choose not to hire someone because they don't like them. I don't want to hire someone because I like them. I want to hire them because they've impressed me.
I thought
They
you were
bring
gonna say that
value.
you trust them.
Well, yeah, but can I use a real world example?
Yeah.
I can actually use two. But the first one is going to be we chose to hire a wedding planner, and she came by recommendation. We met 3 wedding planners, all by recommendation. And this particular girl, we liked her, but it wasn't that we liked her that we chose to go with her. We didn't like one of the other people. And then we saw the opportunity that, hey, we recognize your shortcomings. We acknowledge that they're going to be a factor in our adventure, but you're priced appropriately. We liked you. Your shortcomings are opportunities for us. And the places that you do shine are places that we weren't paying attention to. Another real world example, that one.
Olivia.
Yeah. Yeah. Because she walked in the office after having met with a number of other people and she had questions. She had gone on our website or gone and looked and said, why don't you have a website? Which we didn't at the time. And I was able to answer her and she was able to answer me and we were able to go back and forth. And it was a value that it was impressive.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much a trust, but okay, I can trust this person because of their knowledge.
Right.
I think sometimes the CRM or the CMA, the market analysis, is the same. You might even get 2 from the same company, not Berkshire Hathaway, but like maybe 2 people are using HomeBot or 2 people are using Cloud CMA or 2 people are using Bright MLS. They're the same document,
Right.
with very minute changes in the numbers. So then it's about who knows the information.
Yeah.
And to me, I think that a big mistake that sellers make is hiring the person that doesn't know the information. They just volunteer the highest price.
Yeah. For sure.
I mean, go back to Rachel.
Yeah.
Like you knew more than she was willing to accept.
Yeah.
And for you and by extension for us, it wasn't worth working with her because she wasn't willing to accept the information that we had.
Yeah. She's probably one of, besides she who not be named, she definitely hits the communicative, but like no reception
Yeah.
extreme of
It wasn't
clients.
a reciprocal respect.
Yeah.
It was
she was like, no. This is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I
Right.
want.
Right.
It was like the most unreasonable conversation. And it was a good like 30 minutes of us trying to work with her and like, communicate
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
I also think that we've seen come through our team. We've seen people that have chosen the highest list price. We've seen people that have chosen the overprice acknowledgement, or in this thing we talk about like, oh, I don't have to sell. We've chosen those people. And no offense to anyone, but there's someone that was on our team that created that opportunity for the seller. Right? Like, oh, you don't have to sell it. Well, price it with me because, and it was almost like we knew it was overpriced. Like, we knew we were wasting our time and our money. Like we knew it.
Right.
And yet the only reason that they chose to list with us was because of that person. And one of the reasons that they're not on the team anymore is because they didn't recognize or value what we were bringing to the table either. So I think choosing the right agent is about finding the time and prioritizing your timing into the market.
Yeah.
If you're going to hire your, well, if you're going to hire your family member, let's just say, to represent your investment, I'm trying to be careful.
Yeah, you should, because I just made a TikTok about this.
If you're going to hire your family member to represent your investment, and I hire a professional agent who I trust to represent me on the purchase, and myself as a buyer plus my agent have more skill and knowledge than you as a listing agent, we're going to abuse that privilege. Right. And you as the seller are not even going to know. Like, you're literally not even going to be aware that it happened. Because you're not knowledgeable enough, you're not educated enough, you're not capable of building that trust that the person that's got your back actually has your back. You're just kind of running with it.
Knowledge is power. And I think I definitely learned that from your triplex deal.
Oh, well, that was an interesting one for sure.
For sure. But I mean, you know, you were able to benefit based off the work that you've done in the past and the knowledge that you have. Yeah. When others lack.
Well, and I think it wasn't me. It was Allison in that particular case.
Well, sure.
But I trusted her. She removed the emotion. She presented me with an opportunity, and it was a reciprocal relationship. Mm-hmm. And I could have said, no, I have a real estate license. I'm going to buy it myself. Like, screw you. But it was worth the investment to get that kind of support. And that's what this is talking about. Right. I think going back to Steven, overpricing your home for the condition that the property's in is really detrimental. Mm-hmm. Emotionally. Emotionally, that was fucking annoying to him.
I mean, for sure, his property was on the market, 70, 90 days, something like that. Mm-hmm. And he had moved out of state. I think it was for like family reasons, had to help out a family member. Yeah. And like, if you need the money, if you need to sell your home, like, these are things that you need to do. And we had these conversations with him. You know, I don't know how else we could have helped him out besides educating him and having these conversations, but...
So, like, what could we have done differently? With Rachel, there was no doing anything different. No way. Not to say that we're the best, because we're not. Right. But, like, there was nothing that I think we could have done differently with her.
Not for us, you know?
Right.
Everyone's not our cup of tea either, just like we're not theirs.
And she was really respectful. Yeah. What could we have done differently on Steven's transaction to earn his business the first or the second time?
Well, the first time, when he was interested in Joe Wilson's property, it just wasn't the right time. He wasn't ready to buy again. Like, him and his family were still like undecided at that point. And then something had happened. Then he moved, I think, to like North Carolina or Virginia, to maybe just like following up more in between the time that he was interested in Joe's house and selling his when he moved out of state. But other than that, I mean, like, if we're going to, cut our commission, like, it's a hit to everyone, essentially. Like, is that the biggest thing that people are worried about, or are they worried about what they're walking away with at the end of the day? Right. Could that have some other effect? And then also, like, same thing, like, do you want like a sheep that's going to cave in and like say, yeah, I'll give up my commission, but then when it comes to like selling your home, they're just going to give it up as well? Right. Mm-hmm. Or is that person going to try to fight to justify your $390 list price? Right. And in return, you're going to pay them more of a premium. Right. But you'll still walk away with the netted amount that you want.
There's an experience that I remember from myself as a listing agent, as a buyer's agent. The listing agent was someone I've never worked with before. I didn't know, and they pronounced their expertise to me, which I assumed they did to the seller. Mm-hmm. I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this. And I'm like, all right, cool. So who is this person? They're one of the international real estate agents. Mm-hmm. And if you're not watching, I'm in quotes, right? International. Super spy. They own a team in 4 different states: Maryland, DC, Virginia, and Texas. And there's 3 members of the team. It's not that impressive. There's only 3. And how much can you really be an expert in 4 different states if there's only a team of 3 and you're trying to be international and all this, that, and the other that you're pronouncing that you are to me? And I'm assuming that you pronounced that to the seller, and I'm not saying that you didn't get the home sold, but what did happen, and this is a true story, she, quote, required a document to be signed. We are not required to sign that document. She required it. We tell her again, it's not required. We don't need it. we even explained to her why we didn't need it. And she said, no, we need it. We need it. Okay. So then we sign it, and the way that we sign it, we manipulate it so that it's in the buyer's favor.
Is this the one about the transfer tax?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've
So
heard
like,
this one before.
sure, we'll sign it, send it to you. And I tell the buyer when we sign it, hey, this is what we're signing. This is why we're signing it. I don't really understand, but if the seller signs this, it's going to benefit you. Maybe they'll send it back and it won't benefit you. And we'll talk about that then, but here's where we are. They signed it and they sent it back. And he was like, really? And I was like, well, just wait till settlement. Like, wait till settlement, because then the numbers are going to be laid out weird.
Yeah.
And we're
Table could
talking
be
about like
divided real quick.
$4,000. We're not talking about nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, settlement day, if it's on the settlement statement this way, you save $4,000. If not, whatever. Now, the seller probably didn't know because they trusted their international real estate agent, and their international real estate agent didn't know because she obviously didn't know. And my client, who thought he was going to be bringing this amount of money, 6, 12, 40, 70, doesn't matter, was $4,000 less than what he anticipated. Christmas was good that year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but it's because the agent tells you that they have the knowledge.
Yeah.
And that's where we go wrong, right? Like,
Yeah.
what if you were able to portray the knowledge in a better way to show him why it was worth it to list with you? I'm not saying that you're...
No, but I'm like thinking back and trying to see what I could have done differently.
I don't think there's much.
Yeah, no, but like if you don't have that conversation with yourself or whoever, like you're not going to improve for the next situation that you're in.
You're having it now.
Right.
To be frank.
Right.
Podcast.
Oh, wait, podcast.
Baltimorons.
Wait, Baltimore.
Anyway.
I know, right?
No, I mean, I think it's a very, very, very painfully common shit in our industry. And the big disruptors, and I think incredibly high of some of them, so I'm not going to throw their name out there, but the big companies that come in and they're big and they offer good value, even they make the same mistakes. We make the same mistakes. And sometimes we just flat out tell our client, this is dumb, it doesn't benefit you, but it gets the deal done.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's what's happening. I don't know. All I know is in our perception, the way we're communicating to our client, we're getting them the best value.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I think we need to focus on.
And that's the truth, Ruth.
Mic drop. Bye.
Sum it up, I think education for sure, and then having the rapport with the client.
Yeah.
You know.
Real quick, hold on, Liv. How much time do we have left? 2 minutes. Damn. I had a good question. All right. Well, we're going to take 2 minutes.
Ask it.
All right. How many houses are in the market today? I'm just curious how you're going to respond to this question.
What market?
Baltimore metro market.
Can I have a price range?
No.
That's
Just
it. A
all?
lot. What are you looking for?
Just all?
Okay. Great answer. Right? So the interesting fact was, while there are more houses on the market today than there were a year ago, right? And while buyers are buying at a slower pace than they were a year ago, and while the interest rates are higher than they were a year ago, and there's fewer sales than there were a year ago, and all these scary, scary things, the quantity of homes available in today's market, the quantity of sales in today's market are matched by almost 50% of quantity of homes, almost 150% quantity of sales by 2019. So we're busier and we have fewer homes on the market than pre-COVID.
Wow.
Interesting.
So like,
I feel like we had
the market's crashing.
Pretty similar conversation like last week about this.
Probably.
Maybe not pre-COVID, but like during COVID, like the amount of homes that were available then, I would argue that there's more available now.
There are.
And there was a specific term that we had used for it.
It's months of supply.
Yes.
Is what we used to indicate. But if there was 0.7 months of supply in the height of COVID, which is awful, now we're at 2 months of supply. But a balanced, normal market is how many months of supply?
Would it be 3?
4. 4 to 6 is what they say.
Okay.
I think in Baltimore Metro, we float around 3. I think that's kind of more common. Yeah. But it's also because it's been that way for the last 12 years. But even though, oh, there's so many houses to buy, we could just lowball the crap out of the seller. No, you can't. It's still limited supply.
But also, like, the amount of people who are also thinking that, like, you're just putting yourself
that far behind.
Yes.
You'll learn quickly.
Yeah. You're the seller that overpriced their home.
Right.
You're the buyer that undervalued the home.
Right.
It's like we could flip this whole thing. Let's just do that next week. Dun, dun, dun. No, I'm kidding. We're not there yet. But for real, we do got to go because Liv's going to yell at us.
Oh.
Meow. All right. Well, we talk to you guys real soon, and we will be talking about buyer mistakes at some point in time. We got to write that one down.
Ka-chow.
But at any rate, you can always reach us at MichaelFrank __3 on Instagram. You can always hit us on at frankoliverco.com, and you can always text me, call me anytime.
Text me, call me if you want to.
Christian the Deadhead on Instagram, the Deadhead Realtor on TikTok.
Hey guys, you can reach me on TikTok and Instagram, Andrea _Soto, and via text at 443-668-7776.
Catch you real soon.